Ever wondered how deleted or corrupted images are recovered during forensic investigations? Whether it's a crucial photo or a hidden piece of evidence, Chapter 8 from the Guide to Computer Forensics and Investigations, 6th edition, reveals how graphics file recovery can make or break a digital case. Before we get into it, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video to support your fellow cyber forensic learners and professionals. Let's talk about the types of graphics files you'll encounter. There are bitmap images, which are pixel-based and great for detail. Then there are vector graphics, which are resolution-independent and often used in design work. Finally, we have metafile graphics, which combine features of both bitmaps and vectors. In forensics, image quality matters, but so does file integrity. It's important to understand the difference between lossless and lossy compression. Lossless formats like PNG or GIF retain all original data, making them easier to analyze. On the other hand, lossy formats like JPEG compress the file by discarding some data, which makes recovery and analysis more challenging. If you're working in a forensic lab or in the field, tools like Autopsy, Exif Reader, or WinHex will be your best friends. These can help you extract, view, or even rebuild image files. Start by examining the file headers, which often contain metadata or file signatures that identify the file type. If a file is fragmented or has been deleted, carving techniques become essential. This involves scanning unallocated or slack space to locate and reassemble file fragments. A basic recovery process might go something like this. First, you use a forensic tool to scan for suspicious or unallocated sectors. Next, you analyze the file headers for clues about file type and structure. If the headers are damaged, you may need to rebuild them manually. Once you've identified all parts of the file, you piece them together using cluster analysis. And finally, you export the recovered file and test it in multiple image viewers to confirm integrity. Now let's not overlook metadata. Many image formats, especially JPEGs and TIFFs, store EXIF data, short for Exchangeable Image File Format. This data can include the camera's make and model, GPS location where the photo was taken, and timestamps. This metadata can be invaluable when creating timelines or linking an image to a specific device or individual. Another topic you'll encounter is steganography, which involves hiding data inside image files. There are two major techniques here. One is insertion, which hides data without affecting the visible image content. The other is substitution, which alters the least significant bits of pixel data to embed a message or file. Detecting this kind of hidden data, called steganalysis, requires specialized tools and careful analysis. If you want to reinforce what you're learning, try this hands-on exercise. Take a sample image with known EXIF metadata and use a tool like ExifTool or Exif Reader to extract the information. Then, purposely corrupt the header and try to repair it using a hex editor like WinHex. This kind of lab work builds real skills you can apply in the field. One more thing, never ignore copyright. Many images you find during an investigation may be copyrighted, and as a forensic examiner, it's your responsibility to handle and report on these materials ethically. Always be cautious when extracting or distributing files that contain embedded watermarks or ownership data. Whether you're recovering family photos for a client or uncovering key evidence for law enforcement, this chapter equips you with both the technical and ethical tools to do the job right. If this lecture helped you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with your cyber network. And in the comments, let us know. Have you ever recovered or repaired an image file? What tool did you use? Next up, we'll explore digital forensics analysis and validation. How to ensure the integrity of digital evidence and confirm your findings through reliable testing methods. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and always stay forensic.